Okay. My name is Marius Norberg.
My name is Nathan McEwen.
And I'm Cody Veervoy.
And we're representing P6. Today we are preparing a crusted tuna with the crust being sesame seeds with a sauce of mayonnaise and lime with another sauce with soy sauce and wasabi. For our ingredients, we're going to be in materials that we're using 2 bowls, 2 spoons, pepper, Dijon mustard, salt, wasabi, lime, soy sauce, mayonnaise, a juicer for the lime, sesame seeds, a bowl so we could put the sesame seeds in and we could rub the tuna with the sesame seeds. Here's our final plate. We're going to use green onions for garnish, and here are the 2 tuna steaks we're using. And here is our lower garnish, so we can put the tuna on top in this plate over here.
First, we will be starting with our mayo and lime sauce for our tuna. First, we start by rolling out the lime so that we get more use out of it for our sauce. Now, safely cut the lime in half. Now we grab our juicer, put the center of the lime on the tip, grab all sides, squeeze down and twist. Make sure we get every drop of that nice lime juice out. So you're left with just the pulp. Now you do the same thing with the other part of the lime. Push down and twist. Now you have your freshly squeezed lime juice. Now we take our mayonnaise. Get 2 nice big spoonfuls in to our nice bowl. Now we add a little bit of our lime. Grab our stirring fork, mix everything up together. Till everything's nice and combined. And then we add a pinch of salt for taste. Really mix it all around. So all the salt's incorporated into the sauce. Then we get our clean tasting spoon. It's good.
Now we're going to be making the soy sauce and wasabi sauce. First we're gonna pour in soy sauce, then add wasabi. You stir it together with a fork.
Right here we're going to be using our green onions, the scallions, as a garnish for our dish. So the first things first, you do not want to cut these white parts over here because they'll hold like a stability when you're cutting them. So to really get the proper garnish, you don't want to have the pieces too big or too small. So make them just nice and precise. Make sure you always move your fingers and keep the eye on the cutting board. Don't let anything distract you, because you could always just get yourself hurt and it will not look pretty. Now, since we're getting to the more white areas, we do not want to use this because it's more of a non-flavorful. Plus, this doesn't really look too colorful on our white plate because we want more of a greenish color, and most restaurants use the more greenish of green onions to make a more spark into it.
So here we have our presentational dish that we're going to put the tuna on later. What we did was we took the stems off of all of the leafy greens, mostly for presentational purposes, to make it look a lot nicer. And here we have a mix of different collard greens to give it nice flavor to add to the tuna.
Here we're going to start preparing our tuna, just for safety so we don't spread any disease. We're going to be wearing gloves. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting the tuna into rectangles so it's easier to sear it on the pan. So what we're going to do is that we're going to cut it in a straight line, kind of cutting in a certain angle so the tuna will stay together when we're cooking it, and it just looks generally just more appetizing. So what we're going to do is we're going to slowly cut it in. Don't make it too fast. Make sure you watch your fingers. Just cut it nice and slow. We have our first rectangle, and we have our second piece, the end piece right here, and our first selection of tuna steak is done preparing. Alright, the next step we're going to do is coating our tuna. So first step, it's going to take a slice of the tuna and put it down. Second step, we're going to open our glue for what is mustard, just standard Dijon mustard. We're going to take it, plop it on. Might need a little bit extra for all sides. There we go. So I'm just going to take my hands, just girth it all over. Make sure it's nice and sticky for our sesame. And then when we're all done, we're just gonna put it here in the sesame and flip it over. Salt. And our final step, we're gonna salt the tuna to make sure it's nice and flavorful when we put it in the pan. And with the salt, just making sure I don't get mustard on the pepper. That's why we have tongs. Just flip it over. Over and flip it over.
So to cook the tuna, we're going to be using a cast iron skillet. It has to be very, very hot in order to sear the tuna correctly, and it's better to use cast iron because it keeps the heat much better than any other frying pan would.
So we're gonna take our tuna and we're gonna put it into the pan, and we're gonna start cooking it for 40-second rotations. Every 40 seconds we rotate to a side we haven't cooked on. So right now after 40 seconds, we're gonna turn it to the right, And we're going to keep the process until we do all sides. Now that we're finishing with tuna, we're just going to put onto this plate after it's done with its 40-second rotation. Plop it onto the plate, and now it is done. So our final part of this meal is that we're going to start cutting the tuna. So first we're going to grab a piece, knife, cut it into small pieces. Tiny bite-sized pieces that you can eat easily. And it's just gonna taste really good. Hopefully. It will. And we're just gonna continue cutting this until you're done. And voila, we have our cut tuna.
Now we're going to put on our sauces like the mayo lime and the wasabi soy sauce. We're going to start with the mayo lime. Get a nice bit on the spoon. You're going to drag it over. You're only going to do it on half, and then on the other half, you'll have the wasabi soy. And you're done. Beautiful.
No.
Okay, and now for the final step, we'll add the garnish of the scallions. And voila, it's your tuna.